Well, we got 15 minutes of free publicity on the O'Reilly factor this week. Thanks, Bill. And I'm moved to make a couple of observations.
Pushing the story? Well, here's a memo to Howard Kurtz.
O'Reilly teed off on yours truly for saying that Fox News was pushing the controversy over the Obama administration, all but dropping that voter intimidation case involving the new Black Panther Party. I said that because the story was on Fox on many programs day after day. But Bill then jumps to the conclusion, can you imagine that I think the story is bogus or phony or illegitimate. Not true. I think it's an actual news story, and I said the New York Times and Washington Post had each published a belated article on the controversy. Belated. They were too slow. The question isn't whether there should be any coverage of a former Justice Department official's charge that the case was tainted by racial politics. It's how much coverage is too much or too overheated. In fact, I haven't been shy about saying the mainstream media have avoided and made mistakes in avoiding some stories unearthed by Fox. When Glenn Beck was pounding away last fall at inflammatory statements by White House official Van Jones, I wrote in my Washington Post column that there was little question the traditional media had botched the story by the time they caught up. Jones had resigned. And last week, there was O'Reilly bringing up a column published that Sunday morning by the Washington Post ombudsman.
Does Howard not read his own newspaper, or do you think he disagrees with the ombudsman?
No. Maybe we lost your interest, Bill, but a few minutes into the segment, I said that the ombudsman, Andy Alexander, quote, scolded the paper for being late in running a single news story on the controversy. And he was right. O'Reilly and his colleague Bernie Goldberg also criticized Bob Schieffer for telling me he had been on vacation and had missed the latest developments in the case, which is why he didn't raise the issue with Attorney General Eric Holder on Face the Nation. That's fair game, but at least I called the CBS anchor and asked for his explanation rather than speculating darkly about his motives. And Schieffer was a stand-up guy to come on the program. Bernie Goldberg offered a theory on why Schieffer had missed the story.
And the reason he doesn't know anything about the story, and this goes to your question about yesterday versus today in the media, is because the story wasn't in the New York Times.
Actually, it was in the Times, belatedly, on July 7th. Racial motives alleged in Justice Department decision. You could look it up. Goldberg did say that compared to other media writers, I, quote, wasn't a total bozo. Thanks, Bernie. O'Reilly closed by saying he was appointing himself the new sheriff in town and plans to arrest me. Now that's scary stuff. Do I get to hire a lawyer before Bill tosses me in the slammer? Well, that's it for this edition of Reliable Sources. I'm Howard Kurtz. Join us again next Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, for another critical look at the media.